Hi there, this is Michelle from Therapy Works Together, and I wanted to talk today about a subject that comes up often when I'm listening to parents or hearing, what our clients talk about as they come in for speech therapy, or what I'm seeing people post on social media. That a lot of parents who have young toddlers who are speech delayed or late talkers have a really big issue with their child tantruming and not knowing what to do because their child is not using the language that they perhaps should be at that age, or they might not understand what their parent is saying to them. So if the parent is trying to use, calming strategies or tell them, it's okay or calm down or things like that, the child might actually not understand, and this really hurts parents and frustrates them, and they're kind of left feeling very helpless and not understanding what to do. So I wanted to put together a video that talks a little bit about this and the strategies both that I've learned as a mom and also the strategies that I've learned as a speech therapist, and kind of put those things together. And I think that a lot of what you're hearing is perhaps very intuitive, but I think that it's really important for parents to start to understand that they need to hopefully focus on one strategy, just one thing at a time. Focus on that and go with it for a certain amount of time and see how it works, and give it some time to kind of take root and take hold in how you interact with your child and how your child understands you're going to be interacting with them. So I'm going to, say it again. I think it's important to pick just one thing at a time. So I'm going to talk about that. First of all, with regards to tantruming, I'd like to say that, we all have our tantrums. As an adult, we do that also if we've had a bad day at work or whatever it is. And if somebody came up to you and said, just calm down, I know to me that would really upset me. So I try not to do that to my child. Just calm down. Why are you getting all upset? I don't think that really works. So that's number one, is to respect kind of the things that would be difficult for you, to do the same with your child. So the second thing is to know their sensory preferences. You have kids who are, from a sensory perspective, not wanting to be touched, not wanting to be hugged, or anything like that. So perhaps don't do that. Perhaps for them, you might want to turn off the lights or quiet things down in the room, right? If there's TV or there's other kids in the room or whatever it is, kind of, get the mood to be a lot more chill. If you have a child who does like sensory input, maybe the right thing to do is give them a really tight bear hug, right? Or even take their blanket and, wrap it around them tightly and give them a good hug with some deep, input into their sensory system, and that calms them down. So that's one thing about knowing your child. You have to know your child. I'm sure you do know your child, so you need to kind of factor that in and understand that what's right for another child might not be right for you. Okay, another thing that's really important is to think about your own sensory system and what's going on with you. If you've been doing something somewhere else in the house and now all of a sudden you see there's this meltdown happening or whatever it is, and you come in to try to take care of it, you're like, oh my God, I was just making dinner or whatever it is, or doing work or dealing with the other child, and now I have to come deal with this, and you're all frustrated and you're feeling angry. Something that's really important is to bring your sensory system, into a good, chill sort of place. That means, for me personally, it means taking 3 breaths, okay? And understanding also something that's really important is that I'm gonna take now 5 to 10 minutes to deal with this situation. What was going on over there, if it's dinner, turn off the stove. If it's work, put it aside. I now have to focus 10 minutes worth of my time to this child. So that's very important, because when you're here with your child, but your brain is over there in the, I have 20,000 other things to do, that's very difficult. Okay, so kind of think about what's going on inside of you and regulate that so that you can be most present for your child. Okay, now let's go back to the child again. Be present with them. Go down to their level, maybe kneel or sit on the floor. Use those sensory system calming strategies that you know are right for your child that I spoke about a couple of minutes ago. Okay, and now here's the one strategy I'm going to ask you to use. Give 2 choices and use simple language. Okay, if your child is hopefully calming down a little bit because you're with them, give 2 choices. You know, do you want the ball or the bubbles? Use that to perhaps redirect if there was a situation where another child took a toy or whatever it is, redirect them with choices for 2 new things, okay? That's one type of 2 choices. Another type of 2 choices is, do you want to read a book or do you want to go up to your room? Okay, so offer another activity where they can disconnect from what they were doing before, okay, and kind of put that on the side and have 2 choices. So you can go up to your room. That's the, you know, for the kids that need to relax and don't want more sensory input and just want to be alone. Do you want to go to your room? And then do you want to read a book, right? Or do you want mommy to read you a book, right? And use simple language. So I didn't use it right there, but you can use simple language. So you can even say book or to your room. So you can kind of modify the language depending on wherever your child is language-wise, right, in their development. Another 2 options that you can give your child are sit with mommy or watch a show. And yes, it's okay to let your kid watch a show. This isn't going to be the thing that breaks them or ruins them or turns them into non-functional adults or whatever it is. It's okay to let them watch a show and kind of regulate. Again, think about your own self. If you're feeling frustrated or angry, or you've had a hard day at work, sometimes you just want to sit down and, you know, turn on your phone and watch a video on YouTube, and that's okay. You know, this is something to just help them regulate, and it's okay. This isn't going to be the thing that ruins your child. That's very important, and we need to also stop shaming parents for using it. We're all dealing with lots of things these days, and life is complicated enough as it is. Give them a 5-minute show to watch. Okay, so now those are the things that you're doing in real time. Now I want to talk about something else that is another strategy that's very important, is to teach them the language that you want them to understand for the next time that they're tantruming, right? So teach them 2 words that you want them to know, like angry or sad. Those are important feeling words, right? And you cannot teach them in the moment. That's never going to happen, okay? But when they're calm, maybe when you're playing, you can use a teddy bear, or right now I'm going to use a dog, okay, a doggy bear, to teach them. So, you know, maybe you can show the bear, this time, in this case, the dog getting angry and rolling around and, you know, he took my ball, right? And repeat the things that you see your child tantruming about, right? And model then what you would do. Okay, so you can give him a hug and say, I love you. You're angry. Mommy's here. And give the doll to your child and ask your child to give it a hug. Say, it's okay. It's okay. So model the situation that you anticipate happening next time, and it's going to happen again because that's completely normal. All right, so model what you would do. Model the 2 words that you might bring up then, angry or sad. Model how you're going to calm down the child, right? Those 2 choices. Do you want to go to your room or do you want to stay here with mommy, right? And let the dog do, or let the bear do, what you think your child would do. Play out the situation using the same simple language that you would use at that moment, at that tantrum moment, okay? And model it for them during this playtime. when things are not heated. Because you need to understand also that when you are in a dysregulated state, you as an adult, you as a child, whatever the age is, doesn't even matter. When you are dysregulated, when you are angry, frustrated, sad, hurt, anything negative, you are not in a ready to learn state. That whole ready to learn part of your brain, ready to learn language, ready to learn a new strategy, ready to listen, ready to whatever, it's offline. It's completely offline. You need to get the sensory system back to a place where it is chill and relaxed and calm, and you are able to take in information, whether it's mommy's here for me or daddy's here for me, new language, a new word, whatever it is, but you need to be in a ready to learn state, okay, to be able to absorb that. So that's something that's very important. I hope that those strategies make sense. You can feel free to contact me if you have any questions. We're always here to answer questions about late talkers or kids who need speech therapy for whatever reason that is, or you might think that is. And again, I want to really encourage you to just pick one thing, just one thing, because there's a problem that's happening, is that when we feel like we don't have the tools to do what we need to do, we go out there and there's so much information online, so many people offering their suggestions, so many people posting, well, this worked for my child, or this worked for my child, or nothing worked for my child, or whatever it is, and it's so overwhelming and dysregulating to us as adults. So we need a moment to say, you know what, I'm going to, instead of focusing on these 50 things and trying to do them, I'm going to just focus on one, just one thing. Thanks.